The bigger the money, the bigger the drama. Who knew when President Trump rolled out an investment of up to $500 billion in artificial intelligence infrastructure, it'd launch an X battle between two of America's greatest tech nerds?
We're not sure if Elon Musk sees something Trump doesn't, or felt left out, or just wanted to stir the pot. But he kicked it off with, quote, "They don't actually have the money."
Enter sweet little Sam Altman of OpenAI, ChatGPT, at first responding with kindness, quote, "Sort of. You are the most inspiring entrepreneur of our time." Only for Elon to double down with, quote, "SoftBank has well under $10 billion secured. I have that on good authority."
Finally, hitting back with some oomph, Altman posted, "Wrong. As you surely know, I realize what is great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies, but in your new role, I hope you'll mostly put America first."
Chant with us, won't you? Fight, fight, fight. The White House has entered the chat.
The American people should take President Trump and those CEOs' words for it. These investments are coming to our great country, and American jobs are coming along with them.
We'll leave you with Elon's last word. Quote, "Sam is a swindler." Quote, "Well, we'll leave you with this. They're both geniuses." Make up.
I suspect it might continue, however,
Yeah.
Dagan. We'll follow it. All this artificial intelligence is going to require a whole lot of power. Cue Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer getting in a tizzy over the green energy rollback.
President Trump is tying himself into knots and talking out of both sides of his mouth. On the one hand, he goes on about how we need more power, we need more electricity to meet the demands of AI. And then on the other hand, he spent his first day in office proposing executive orders that cut clean energy investments, halting wind and solar, and putting those jobs at risk. These AI data centers will depend on more clean energy production and transmission, and cutting clean energy will cut a good chunk of the new energy that's about to come on board. So for President Trump, to cut clean energy investments is tantamount to cutting AI's potential.
Balderdash. For more, let's bring in Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee member and Montana Senator Steve Daines. He is right, Schumer is, on one thing, that one of the greatest constraining issues, one of the greatest constraints for AI is power. But if you take that power suck away from electric vehicles and channel it toward AI, that is something in and of itself, Senator.
Well, look, this AI race is really an energy race against China. That's what it is. The constraint to build out the AI capabilities we will need to stay in the lead globally comes down to energy. And we're talking about baseload, reliable power. Look, we're going to need 50% more energy conservatively than we're using today, just in the next 25 years. What Schumer is saying there is really a green hallucination. When you look at where does energy come from today in terms of electricity, 60% is coming from natural gas and coal, 20% from nuclear. Renewables are less than 20%, and that includes hydro, which is a great source of baseload power. But remember, the wind doesn't always blow, the sun doesn't always shine. Wind today is less than 10%, solar is about 3%.
Yeah.
You can't build out the AI future for this country on renewables. It's an intermittent source of power. We need every source of power right now, and renewables are a good source, but it will not lead us to where we need to go. And that's why I'm so proud of President Trump's bold leadership in terms of unleashing American energy, all sources.
And he will unleash nuclear as well, which is so critical because it's baseload.
But somebody's got to tell the UN Secretary General, because he delivered a scathing rebuke of global fossil fuel dependence at Davos. Take a listen.
I recently saw an analysis that exposed the grim irony. 13 of the world's biggest ports for oil supertankers will be overwhelmed by rising sea levels. Rising seas, which are caused by rising temperatures, and rising temperatures, which are overwhelmingly caused by burning fossil fuels. Our fossil fuel addiction is a Frankenstein monster, sparing nothing and no one. All around us, we see clear signs that the monster has become master.
So I think the Trump plan is to not listen to these guys that much, and I think that's probably a good plan, Senator. Your reaction?
Well, it is. I was chuckling. They've probably seen those folks down in Florida having snowball fights right now. But I tell you, you step back, look what Europe did, where they cut off their baseload power. They shut down coal plants, shut down nuclear plants, got themselves in a big problem after Putin invaded Ukraine because they had a shortage of energy. We can't let that happen in the United States. Thank God for President Trump's bold leadership, for the new Secretary of Energy, soon to be Chris Wright, Secretary of Interior Doug Burgum. These are sensible, very smart leaders, trained at MIT, engineering degrees. They understand the science. They will do the right thing, not be captivated by this radical green ideology. Again, I'm so thankful for what President Trump is doing and not listening to this nonsense that's coming from Europe.
Right. Gutierrez should just go to China because China's the biggest polluter and their emissions are going up while ours are falling because of natural gas. Senator Steve Daines, always a pleasure, sir. Please come back.